to Bangor. From the Great Northwoods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, Maine lawmakers reconvene in Augusta, facing a busy session ahead.
Plus, people in Deer Isle are trying to raise money to reopen a badly needed nursing home.
And a local school receives special recognition for its incredible computer science program. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
I'm Craig Colson. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm going to start things off by talking about the weather, and I think it's going to be a pretty nice day out there. Should see a lot more sun today than we did yesterday.
Yeah, quite warm too. Devin Biggs says the forecast.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1, Rockland, Thomas, and Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. Alrighty, here we are. So we have a couple of advisories in effect. A small crowd advisory that will last until about Friday at about the noon time frame. And gale watches up till Saturday morning at 2 a.m. as we are going to be watching some active surf along the coast. The good news is we are done with the precipitation. We're going to be dry for the next several days. Here's the last of the rain that moved through last night. And now we are done. We'll get a lot of these clouds out of here. We'll be under a partly cloudy sky today. A lot of sunshine on the way for the daytime tomorrow. Let's zoom things out right now and give you the bigger picture. And overall, things looking a lot better. And again, lots of dry days on the way as we do move forward. So Futurecast moving forward. Any clouds left over, we'll be getting out of here with a lot of sunshine on the way later on today. And later on tonight to tomorrow morning, looking pretty good, though, with some clear skies and a lot of sunshine for the daytime tomorrow. The winds will be out of the northwest, still gusty from time to time. Sustained winds up to 13 to 15 miles per hour and gusts up to 25 miles per hour cannot be ruled out either. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period. Overall, mostly cloudy sky, but decreasing clouds during the afternoon. Temperatures in the 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
Thank you, Devin. The Maine legislature convened for a new session after swearing in the newest members and electing constitutional officers. It was time to get down to business. So far, lawmakers appear to be striking a tone of cooperation. Devin Dagnall was there and has more.
Maine's new members of Congress were sworn in Wednesday to create the state's 131st House and Senate. Across both branches of the legislature, there are many that are serving for the first time. Among the rookie senators is Jill Duson, the former mayor of Portland.
I'm excited to be here. I'm excited and humbled to be the first BIPOC woman elected to the Maine State Senate. I'm excited to have the opportunity to make sure people realize there's so much more to me than the fact that I am African American. It's an important factor, but I'm also a deeply experienced public servant.
Despite coming off of what many saw as a very divisive election cycle, both parties say they are willing to put their differences aside and reach across the aisle for the people of Maine.
I've made it a point to get out and talk to Democrats and Republicans here, and I'm looking forward to a really good relationship between the two parties. Senator
Troy D. Jackson was reelected as president of the Senate, making him the longest-serving state Senate president since the institution of term limits. In his acceptance speech, Jackson instilled a message of unity and camaraderie among those in the Senate.
I think that Senate President Jackson set the tone. I think that as a majority party, we're completely open and committed to trying to work on a bipartisan basis in the interest of all of Maine.
In Augusta, I'm Devin Dagnall, reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Meanwhile, Republicans have rejected the emergency winter heating relief plan Governor Mills unveiled this week. The Senate voted to send LD 1 to the Appropriations and Financial Affairs Committee for a public hearing. The plan, which was negotiated with Republican and Democratic leadership in the legislature over the past several weeks, is a package of short-term measures aimed at ensuring that low-income and middle-class Maine people and families can stay warm this winter despite rising energy costs. It includes $450 checks to be sent to most Maine people to help with heating costs, as well as tens of millions of dollars in funding for the Home Energy Assistance Program, Maine Community Action Partnerships, as well as money for short-term housing to prevent homelessness in the winter. Democrats say temperatures are dropping quickly and action is necessary. Republicans said they want more time.
And we all know that the price of a tank of heating oil is just too high.
Yes, we take this seriously, but we also think that the Maine people need to have a say.
Governor Mills is urging Senate Republicans to join their other Republican and Democratic colleagues in the legislature to give the plan the support needed to enact it as an emergency measure.
Portland Democratic Representative Rachel Talbot Ross made history yesterday after being elected by her fellow lawmakers to become Maine's next Speaker of the House. Talbot Ross is the first black woman elected to the state legislature and is now the state's first black Speaker of the House. Her father, Gerald Talbot, was the first black legislator ever elected in Maine. That was back in 1972. He was at the State House yesterday, along with her son and her 3 sisters.
Sitting in this room, embarking on our shared work as the most diverse legislature in the history of Maine. It is my unwavering belief, though, that we are one Maine.
It's a huge honor. She has worked so hard to get here today. And now, as we go into 2023, we have more women of color here in the legislature.
The House Speaker's sister says it's a good sign for Maine that the state and the legislature is becoming more diverse.
Well, in other news, state police are investigating a crash that claimed the life of a pedestrian in Hancock. It happened on Route 1 near Hancock Grammar School right around 6:15 yesterday morning. Maine Department of Public Safety spokesperson Shannon Moss says 57-year-old Shauna Hardison of Lemoyne was driving a pickup in the northbound lane when it struck a man walking in the roadway. 67-year-old Edwin Rowe of Hancock was pronounced dead at the scene. Moss says Rowe was wearing dark clothing at the time of the crash, and that stretch of road does not have any streetlights. Moss says weather and visibility do appear to be factors in the crash. Hardison was not hurt. A full investigation is now being carried out.
The Maine Warden Service is working with the Knox County Sheriff's Office to locate 71-year-old Francine Laporte of St. George, Maine. She was reported missing by her husband, Paul Laporte, yesterday afternoon. He awoke to find that Francine was not home, and after several hours, he went looking for her. Her phone was left at the residence, and it is believed she left the residence on States Point Road on foot. It is asked that if you saw a female walking in the area of States Point Road and or River Road in St. George early yesterday morning, to call Augusta State Police Dispatch.
The case against a man accused of killing his own brother in Poland is now moving forward. 34-year-old Justin Butterfield was indicted yesterday by the Androscoggin County Grand Jury for the death of his brother, 38-year-old Gabriel Demore. Butterfield is expected to claim he wasn't in a legally responsible state of mind at the time of the crime. The judge ordered an evaluation to determine whether he's competent to stand trial. He has been held at the Androscoggin County Jail since his arrest on Thanksgiving Day. As you know, if you've been following that, they're saying mental illness did play a big role in that one, but they have to go through the process and see what happens next.
All right. Well, the time is now 8:08. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, we'll hear about the public comment that occurred last night over the draft plan to reopen the Deer Isle Nursing Home.
But first, another check of that forecast. Looks like a nice partly cloudy day today with highs near 46 degrees. It'll get cooler tonight. It'll be clear and breezy with lows dropping down to around 27. Tomorrow, another nice day, sunny and breezy. The highs near 38.
When it comes to winter footwear, warmth, waterproof, and safety matter most. Take the drive today to Comfort Shoes and More in Newport and discover the latest in winter boot technology. We've got boots rated from -60 to 0 degrees Fahrenheit to keep your feet warm in any weather. Check out the new materials guaranteed to keep your feet dry. Relieve the anxiety of slipping and falling this winter with the new Navitech with grippers built right into the sole. Just flip it and clip it and you're ready to go. Be prepared this winter. Take the drive today to Comfort Shoes and More in Newport.
So small, so smart. Hearing aids that I can personalize to each ear right from here. Brilliant.
It's Cyber Monday all week with big savings on Eargo 6.
Angie's List is losing the list. From now on, it's just Angie.
So what happens to all the people that needed the list?
Oh yeah, everything still works. We just made it better. We even let you book services instantly now.
Start your home project at Angie.com.
On the next Last Man Standing, raising teenage daughters isn't easy.
That's what we decided, that you would be in charge of the drugs and alcohol, and I would be in charge of the sex talk.
That went well. And when Eve wrecks the car, Vanessa wants Mike to be the bad guy.
I will make it worth your while. I will do the thing that you're always asking me to do, but I won't do it because it makes me physically sick.
You will root for Michigan over Ohio State.
Last Man Standing.
This afternoon, starting at 4 on Fox 22.
Welcome back, everyone. The Island Nursing Home Board of Directors held a public forum last night in Deer Isle Stonington High School to hear input on a draft plan to reopen the facility for residential care. The skilled nursing care facility had to close its doors last year due to a lack of staff. As a residential care facility, it would offer meals and medication, but would not have professional nurses. According to Island Nursing Home spokesperson Dan Cashman, under the current draft plan, the facility would reopen with 32 residential care beds, offering services to the island population in need. Cashman says the standalone residential care facility will require financial support, with a fundraising campaign being an integral part of the draft plan.
If we get a better reimbursement, then maybe we would be able to consider some nursing care beds. But then we still have the question of being able to hire staff.
Supporters are now trying to raise the money needed to get the nursing home reopened. Cashman says their goal is to gain state approval and begin admitting residents by July 1st, 2023.
Volunteers with the Homeless Memorial Blanket Project were in Bangor yesterday, gathering locally made blankets. The blankets collected from this project will be displayed on the west lawn of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. on the 21st. After being displayed, the blankets will be distributed to families and individuals that are in desperate need of blankets this winter.
Last year we decided that, there were just too many candlelight vigils and they didn't produce anything. So if we made a major art installation of beautiful blankets like the works of art that are all around us here, that would have an impact like a candlelight vigil, but the very next day we could give those blankets to people in need and they would feel loved and they would feel warm.
Anyone interested in donating a blanket that missed the drop-off can reach out to the Homeless Memorial Blanket Project, where a Mainer driving the blankets to the Capitol building will pick up your donation.
With this week being Computer Science Education Week, Maine Education Commissioner Pender Macon visited one local school to highlight its thriving program. Our Matthew Jronsic was also there.
Here at Nokomis Middle School, one program is getting major attention for its accomplishments. The computer science program is doing so well that Maine Education Commissioner Pender Macon stopped by to meet the students, and she says she was taken away by what she saw.
It's been inspirational beyond words. I'm looking at everything STEM-related, digital learning, broadcasting, real-world applications of the hard skills of computer science, and it has been a great experience.
In her visit, Macon visited the 6th grade integrated technology class, observing student robotics projects, and participating in a live student leadership ambassador of Maine broadcast on computer science education efforts. Teacher Keith Kelly says the kids are using familiar tools like Legos to learn the greater concept in computer science.
They learn the process of coding, which eliminating variables and reiterating and trying it and testing it, and this works and that works. And they learn kind of an if-then statements, things we do all the time.
And students say they enjoy what the class has to offer.
It's pretty fun. There's a lot of physical stuff. It looks like fun, and it's right up my alley and what I like to do.
And with Maine being the only state in the nation to offer project-based science education to all pre-K to 12th grade students, Macon believes that STEM in Maine is only going to grow from here.
When you have educators, like the educators here at Nokomis, who are so open-hearted, open-minded, and eager to share, and their enthusiasm is so contagious, the students can't possibly, resist it. They are going to be inspiring their peers across the state.
Matthew Jronsic, ABC 7 and Fox 22.
And Baxter State Park is looking for a new leader. The Baxter Park Authority announced it has launched a search for a new park director.
That person will be responsible for all activities in the park, including park development, budget management, and administrative work. Interested candidates must submit their applications by January 13th. You get a job as park director, you can spend your day in that beautiful area of Maine every day if you want.
I'm curious now. Is there a park director house out
I don't know.
Baxter State Park?
You could be a park ranger, though.
Because they get to live on
site. Then you can live on the cabins during the summer and stuff.
Right.
I thought about that for a while, actually. You need to have a lot of things in your background to do it.
I know. I think it's almost like you need to have the background of people who work in law enforcement.
Somewhat, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Different park rangers do different things.
Right.
But yeah, if you're interested, though, look into it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Time now, 8:15. Coming up after the break, we'll have your full weather forecast.
Plus, the world-famous group Cirque du Soleil is in Bangor today. We'll hear from a few members of the production. We'll be right back.
Did you know that Renewal by Andersen will replace your windows any time of the year and in any weather? Made with our exclusive Fibrix material, which is vastly superior to vinyl, never needs painting, and resists warping and bowing. We custom build your replacement windows in the USA and back them with the nation's best warranty. Call Renewal by Andersen for your free consultation. Don't miss this money-saving deal with great financing. Installation is always included. Call now.
Hammond Lumber Company is honored to have again been named one of the best places to work in Maine. Hammond Lumber recognizes the importance of employee satisfaction. They provide a positive workplace environment with opportunities to grow. Hammond has continued to grow too, with more team members across Maine and New Hampshire. To find your place on the Hammond team, click on the careers link at hammondlumber.com. Hammond Lumber Company, proud to be one of the best places to work in Maine.
It wasn't just a little bit of soot on an old family photo. It wasn't just a couple of books soaked in water. And when you called Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration, you were not just another customer. That family photo hangs high yet again, and those irreplaceable first editions stay cemented in history. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration.
Guys, I've been looking forward to this game all season.
Brady against the team he grew up rooting for. I mean, come on, storybook. It's nitty-gritty time for the Bucs.
There's so much on the line. These conference games have direct impact on seeding. Who gets the one bye, having to play a wild card game, hosting home field advantage through the playoffs.
We mean this when we step on the field. This is the game circled on my calendar.
The NFL, Sunday on Fox. Home of Super Bowl 57.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. The spellbinding performers of the famous group Cirque du Soleil are performing their world-famous show, Corteo, in the Cross Insurance Center. The show centers on a clown named Mauro, who has passed away, but his spirit remains. Instead of mourning, the funeral cortege, which is called a corteo in Italian, celebrates the here and hereafter. Organizers say the show is quite the undertaking and involves 21 semi-trailers of equipment and 12 hours to build the venue, which involves 100 locally hired workers who pitch in on the labor. The troupe has been on the road for the show since 2016, first doing 2 years in North America, then 2 years in Europe before the COVID-19 pandemic hit. They are now touring again across the U.S., and they say they are glad to be back together, ready to deliver a unique experience to their audience.
We are a multicultural, we're actually a bit of a melting pot from all over the world. And that's what actually makes it great to be on tour, because we're one big family from people all over the world. So you get to learn things about different parts of the world and their culture that we don't see, because I'm American.
All my friends are here, and it's a show that I have in my heart always. There's an act called trample beds, which are beds with the trampoline. We are playing children throwing pillows and jumping on the bed, which is really, really fun to watch and really, really fun to do. And my other part, it's a stair wheel. It's a big metal wheel that rolls on stage it's kind of a dance melted with acrobatics.
The show runs from December 9th through the 11th. Tickets are still available online.
They are amazing. I like to try out that little circular thing. Can you imagine me just spinning across the stage for that thing?
Seems like if you do it wrong, it could be bad for your back.
I'd probably hurt myself.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
That's awesome, though. They're from around the world. They travel around the world. It's a very diverse cast. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
There's a chance for everybody here to watch at the Cross Insurance Center. Well, the time is now 8:20.
Time to get a full look at our forecast. Let's check it out.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1 Rockland Thomas and Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. Alrighty, here we are, a couple of advisories to talk about. Small craft advisories and gale watches, both in effect. A small craft advisory here is this shade showing up right about in here, and that'll last until about the noon time frame for your Friday. There is some behind this gale watch as well, and that gale watch up until about 2 a.m. as we head towards your Saturday. We're going to be holding on to gusty winds for a while, which will keep things active for ocean surf height, but otherwise, at least on land, things are starting to calm down. The last of the precipitation finally starting to get out of here, and the clouds will be slow to get out of here, but a lot of sunshine on the way later this afternoon, and a clear sky on the way later on tonight as well. So here's a general idea. We have one front that has since moved through. Here's another one right about in here that's going to help to cool our temperatures off as we head towards the afternoon period before this area of high pressure starts to move in later on tonight. So a futurecast breaking all of this down now. Again, any clouds will be getting out of here throughout the day with a lot of sunshine during the afternoon and a clear sky later on tonight. Tomorrow looking very nice with a lot of sunshine on the way. Any clouds may try to sneak in, maybe a few clouds from the east going toward the west with this leftover system. But again, no precipitation to worry about, just maybe some clouds that will try to sneak in as we head towards early Saturday morning. But again, we have gusty winds to worry about, though. Gusty winds up to 25 miles per hour will be expected today, lasting into parts of tonight as well, and even into parts of tomorrow. So the winds will remain gusty moving forward, especially with some of the activity that's just outside of the U.S. Wave heights also remaining active, 4 to 7 foot wave heights, and even some getting up to 8 feet from time to time. And with all this in mind, that's why we have those alerts along the coast. But our average high temperature, to talk temperatures right now, is 37 degrees. We'll reach for the mid-40s for most of the day. Then by early afternoon, temperatures fall during that point as that front moves through. Upper 30s for your Friday, then back down to lower 30s for your Saturday. 20s return Sunday, but then warming back up into the 30s Monday, Tuesday, and also into your Wednesday. So your forecast for today, mid-40s, partly cloudy, falling temperatures this afternoon. The northwest wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. Later on tonight, upper 20s, mostly clear and breezy. Northwest wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. Looking ahead towards tomorrow, upper 30s, mostly sunny and breezy. That north wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. And your Shepherd Auto Group extended forecast. Look at this. We're dry for the next several days with a mixture of clouds and sun. Temperatures cooling off by Sunday to the upper 20s, but we're back in the low 30s just a little bit as we head towards your Monday.
$7.8 million. That's how much I made home sellers in the past 2 years. Planning on selling? I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one, gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
Welcome to Rebecca's. For over 30 years, we've been serving our local customers in downtown Bangor, and we invite you to explore our historic shop.
Rebecca's carries many Maine-made products from local artisans. Perhaps you need a gift basket for your next celebration. We'll be glad to help. From blueberry ceramic dishes, gourmet foods featuring Stonewall Kitchen, fine wines to antique dishes and furniture. You're sure to find that perfect gift.
We hope to see you soon at Rebecca's.
The Sebec Lake House proves that Days World is ready for any challenge. The client had very high standards for this entire project. You can tell by Sebec Lake actually being in granite in the floor. Days World had to match those high standards, and we did with the Mitsubishi electric equipment that we carry. They didn't want any diffusers on that first level.
You cannot see the diffusers anywhere, just like they promised. We trusted Dave's World with this project, and we're very pleased with the results, and I'd highly recommend them.
Name someone Santa would bring to therapy with him.
Candy cane.
Name someone.
Some answers are the gift
Candy cane!
that keeps
I said candy cane!
on giving.
The little striped peppermint! Candy with the hook on it! Stop it!
Happy holidays from Family Feud.
weeknights at 7 on Fox 22.
When selling your home, knowing your options could make you tens of thousands of dollars. That's what I do for my clients. I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
This morning, there's concern around the country amid rising rates of COVID-19, flu, and respiratory illnesses, and what doctors are calling a triple-demic. The climbing cases are straining hospital resources, and there are new reports the nation's pharmacies and drugstores are seeing spikes in demand for cold and flu medications. ABC's Justin Finch has more from Washington.
Hospitals nationwide are stretched to their limits amid surging cases of the flu, RSV, and COVID. From New York State,
these three viruses are all making it very difficult for us to practice routine medicine.
To Texas,
our hospital is full, our ICU is full.
80% of adult hospital beds are full, the highest peak since the Omicron surge. And now hospitals are seeing COVID cases rise again. The CDC director urging Americans to consider masking and get their flu and COVID vaccines.
We are seeing high rates of flu, higher than we've seen this time of year in over a decade.
With an earlier than expected spike, some local pharmacies don't have enough supplies of over-the-counter cold and flu medication on hand. The White House saying the supply chain for those medicines is strong.
My grandson, who's in second grade, still wears a mask.
In Maine, respiratory illnesses are forcing some schools to close. Nevada now fast-tracking nursing licenses to handle a flood of pediatric patients.
It's unusually high so early in the year. We worry about what's going to happen later on this month after the holidays.
She had low oxygen, which they call hypoxia, and a fever, and they had said that they needed to admit her right away.
This family says their toddler had to wait almost a full day in the ER before a hospital bed opened up. After 4 days of treatment, she's now recovering from RSV, the flu, and a collapsed lung. And for those looking for over-the-counter treatments, try checking several stores or shopping online. And doctors say generic versions of your go-to medications are also an option. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
There's a renewed push on Capitol Hill to see if there's an immigration and border security bill possible before the end of this current Congress. It comes as illegal crossings are at record highs on the southern border, and many patrol agents say they feel abandoned. Fox's Lauren Blanchard has the report from Washington.
A Border Patrol agent died Wednesday after a high-speed chase near the border in Mission, Texas.
It's horrific, and it goes back to the policies and the failed policies of this administration.
The danger agents are confronting at the southern border, the record-high number of illegal border crossings, and figuring out the future for undocumented youths, all in focus on Capitol Hill, where a group of bipartisan senators are hoping for compromise. In a potential framework discussion still in its early phase, there would be a pathway to citizenship for those protected under DACA, or Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals.
This idea that somehow we can either have border security or a humanitarian policy towards immigrants, that you have one or the other, is crap. You can have both.
In exchange, more funding for border agents and migrant processing facilities, and a one-year extension for Title 42, which has been used since the start of the pandemic to quickly expel migrants. Wednesday night, the Biden administration announced they will appeal a federal judge that ruled back in November that Title 42 must be lifted.
So many Border Patrol agents have talked to me about. They feel abandoned by this administration. Abandoned. This shouldn't be political. This shouldn't be about Republican or Democrat.
Title 42 is scheduled to drop in just 2 weeks. Homeland Security said a worst-case scenario could mean 18,000 illegal crossings per day. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
Also have some breaking news we want to tell everybody about. If you've been following the plight of WNBA star Brittany Griner, big developments there today. Apparently, she is being released from prison in Russia, where she's being held for months now, and it's part of a prisoner swap with the U.S., where apparently trading an arms dealer, Victor Bout, I think his name is. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that is the breaking news. Brittany Griner being released from that Russian prison, coming to a much relief for her family and people back here in the U.S.
Absolutely. As I understand it, President Biden did sign off on this exchange because otherwise she was sentenced to at least a decade in a Russian camp. So, yep, it's good news for her family. And still to come here on the second half of our show, we'll hear about common mental health challenges during the holiday season.
We'll also have your latest weather forecast, too. Don't go away.
Come stop by Triple S Tack Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
Maine's largest Chevy dealer, Quirk Chevrolet, has a tremendous selection of Chevy cars and SUVs. Silverado, where bold is just the beginning. Equinox, the all-wheel drive family SUV. Blazer, the trendsetter SUV. Looking for a quality, certified, or pre-owned vehicle? Look no further than Quirk Motor City, with over 400 used vehicles to choose from, plus a free Carfax history report. It's your Chevy car, truck, or SUV. Find it at Quirk Chevrolet in Bangor, Portland, and Rockland.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back. Well, today is Thursday, December 8th, 2022. It's also Feast of the Immaculate Conception Day for Catholics. It's an important pillar of Catholic teachings. It's also National Brownie Day, a time to enjoy warm and chewy brownies and just let your problems melt away. You know, you're having a bad day? Have a brownie.
Have a brownie.
Yeah.
Yes. That's usually my route, too.
Yeah, I'm
Treat
okay
yourself
with
on
that.
Something. Or a pizza.
Or pizza, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I want food.
I know, it's about that time. Well, on this day in history, in 1765, Eli Whitney, the inventor of the cotton gin, was born in Westboro, Massachusetts, which makes a lot of sense because the textile industry was huge in Massachusetts and the Northeast in general. And in 1941, the United States entered World War II as Congress declared war on Japan following the attack on Pearl Harbor.
In 1987, President Ronald Reagan and his Soviet counterparts signed a treaty at the White House calling for the destruction of intermediate-range nuclear missiles. Today's birthdays include actor Kim Basinger, who is 69, singer Sinead O'Connor is 56, Baseball Hall of Famer Mike Mussina, 54, and rapper Nicki Minaj with her golden lyrics, 39 years old. I've been complaining about Nicki Minaj all morning because of her foul language and stuff. It's just,
it's I'd say as vulgar as it gets.
When you hear your teenage daughter in the back seat of the car or next to you start singing some of that stuff, it's like, what? What came out of your mouth? It's just bad. It's just bad.
I think she's being raised right, though, that she could be like rocking it with her music
Oh,
and
yeah.
be like, whatever, Dad.
Yeah. Sometimes I try to get her to listen to some AC/DC or something like that, and she's
It's about the balance.
she'll listen to it.
Yes,
So.
yes.
What is this Highway to Hell stuff, Dad?
Right.
This is bad. So
Right, good point. Right, Eric Clapton's song about cocaine. Yeah.
there's some interesting things out there.
It's
All
all
right,
bad.
let's switch gears, talk about the holiday season. It's a time to be merry and joyful, but for many it can be stressful, a very stressful time of year.
Absolutely. A lot of expectations around the holiday season. ABC's M. Wynn has some tips for those who are struggling with their mental health this December.
Sometimes getting in the holiday spirit is difficult. Whether it's the change in routine, gift giving, family gatherings, or grief after losing a loved one, the holidays can greatly impact our mental health.
Scheduled gatherings that don't happen throughout the year, or seeing folks you haven't seen for a large chunk of time. That's often some of the big stuff.
Psychologist Dr. Kurt Michael says to practice basic self-care.
Keep a routine, attend to your sleep, keep good nourishment, take part in physical activity, even if it's just going for a walk. Give yourself some space. Stay away from some of those unhelpful comparisons, especially those on social media.
Take a break from devices that might be distracting or further isolating.
Truly unplug. Make actual eye contact with your fellow person.
If you're grieving the loss of a loved one, give yourself grace.
It's really a time when sometimes these losses are magnified and really put under the microscope. Acknowledge the fact that you've lost this very important person in your life.
And take time to relax.
Take a hot bath, for example. Take a little extra time to get up in the morning, have a cup of coffee, do things that, normally you're rushing through. Maybe just take a little bit extra time for yourself and focus on your own needs.
M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
Again, a nice, warm, chewy brownie will always help. Have a nice brownie or something.
Right.
I like the idea of maybe staying off social media so much. It can really kind of stress you out. You always feel like you're competing with the Joneses. And, on social media, people portray their lives. They look perfect, but trust me, they all have their problems too.
It's just the inundation of stuff
just
all
stuff,
the time.
Yeah. Just try to remember what the holidays are really about. And that's really spending time with your families and maybe helping others.
Maybe have a fire, make a wreath. Those are two things on my checklist.
And eat brownies.
Yes,
all right.
Absolutely. Well, when we return...
No, we have to do weather now.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's time for weather. We got to let people know.
Keeping me on track. Yeah, Devin Biggs has the full weather forecast.
It usually keeps me on track.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1, Rockland, Thomas, and Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. Alrighty, here we are. So we have a couple of advisories in effect. A small crowd advisory that will last until about Friday at about the noon time frame. And gale watches up till Saturday morning at 2 a.m. as we are going to be watching some active surf along the coast. The good news is we are done with the precipitation. We're going to be dry for the next several days. Here's the last of the rain that moved through last night. And now we are done. We'll get a lot of these clouds out of here. We'll be under a partly cloudy sky today. A lot of sunshine on the way for the daytime tomorrow. Let's zoom things out right now and give you the bigger picture. And overall, things looking a lot better. And again, lots of dry days on the way as we do move forward. So Futurecast moving forward. Any clouds left over, we'll be getting out of here with a lot of sunshine on the way later on today. And later on tonight to tomorrow morning, looking pretty good, though, with some clear skies and a lot of sunshine for the daytime tomorrow. The winds will be out of the northwest, still gusty from time to time. Sustained winds up to 13 to 15 miles per hour, and gusts up to 25 miles per hour cannot be ruled out either. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period. Overall, a mostly cloudy sky, but decreasing clouds during the afternoon. Temperatures in the 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
Thank you, Devin.
And now, when we return, Tyler Cruz and Ryan Sudol will have the latest in local sports.
Don't go away.
Hey, it's Eric from Green Bear 420. We've been in business since 2010 and going strong, so stop in and check us out. We specialize in glass art by over 100 local artists and even have live glass blowing. Plus, we carry incense, novelties, t-shirts, and hard-to-find items. We have tons of local products for the tie-dye wearing person in your circle of friends. Come see us at 531 Moosehead Trail in Newport. And remember, Green Bear 420, it's not just a store, it's a lifestyle.
Big trucks rule the road. They're dangerous, and they can cause big, bad injuries. But the big trucking companies don't stand a chance against me. These companies have big insurance policies, and if you're hurt by one of these big boys, I'll fight to make them pay up for you. I'm Jim with Lowry & Associates. If you've been hurt by a big truck, call the Twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a big truck? Come out on top. Call the Twos. Call 222-2222.
Oh no! Son of a nutcracker. This is what I get for eating all those cookies. Hey, Roto-Rooter, I got a big clog for you. I'm stuck in the chimney. Again. Yep, I'm the clog. Any chance you could fa-la-la over here?
For all your holiday plumbing needs, Roto-Rooter can save the day.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
You're the head of the missing persons unit. You became the head of that unit to find one person, a son.
For 6 years, I've gone to bed with heartbreak. And I won't let these families go through what I went through.
We're gonna find him.
I've got a location.
We gotta head. Let's do it.
The girls, where are they?
Give me your hand!
It's okay. I'm right here.
25 words or less.
Do this with me, boys. Ready? It's just a game.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. With just days away from the high school basketball season officially tipping off, we'll take a look at the Hamden Academy Broncos. The girls lost a few seniors last season, but they're still hoping to make a push in Class AA. Ryan Sudol has more.
That loss last year was really tough.
Hamden Academy girls basketball once again made the AA state tournament last year, but the Broncos didn't win, place, or show. This year, the Broncos have a healthy mix of young and experienced talent, a good sign for the present and the future.
It's kind of nice for now and coming years because we have some experience and then we have some girls who are going to get experience this year for later.
When talking about experience, look no further than senior guard and recent Providence College commit, Bella McLaughlin.
She's very strong, she's a good finisher, good shooter, a good all-around player. Whether it's a tough practice or a tough game, she's always there. She inspires everybody on this team, and everybody wants to be her.
Another key piece, especially on the defensive end, is junior forward Lauren Voter.
She's one of our taller girls, so she often has to guard the post. She's not as tall as them, but she's often stronger than them and faster than them. My coach, who gives me great advice, he has taught me everything I know about how to get around people, how to just embrace the height that I do have and try to make it work.
And the Broncos will try to make it work this year after losing 5 seniors. But they're no strangers to this type of situation.
So we lost Bailey Donovan, and then we lost Amelia, Lydia, Sid, and Bella. So we just lost these really big components, and nobody ever expected us to do well after them.
But they have, becoming AA North champions in 2020 and reaching the semis last year. The Broncos will begin this year's push with the game against Camden Hills.
Last year we played them, we had a pretty good win, so this will be a good game to show how we play as a team, what groups work well together, and just how we're going to be this year.
That game against Camden Hills takes place right here at Hamden Academy this Friday at 6. In Hamden, I'm Ryan Sudol, ABC 7, Fox 22.
Thanks for that, Ryan. Looking forward to see what the Broncos can do on the court this season. Let's move to Maine women's hockey now. Molly Engstrom, the program's first-year head coach, is also taking on a role with Team USA. Ditching the black and blue for the Stars and Stripes. Not really ditching the black and blue. Engstrom, a 2-time Olympian as a player, now joins the Team USA coaching staff for the first time in her career. She was added as an assistant coach for the Americans for the December Rivalry Series games. They take place on December 15th in Nevada and December 19th in Los Angeles, where she will make her coaching debut in the red, white, and blue. Now, Maine's next game is January 5th, so no conflict there. Let's move on to some baseball now. It was a slow start to the MLB free agency period for both the Red Sox and the Yankees, but on Wednesday, both teams made some pretty big moves. We'll start with the Red Sox. They picked up a closer. What has it been, 5 years since Craig Kimbrell left and they went closer by committee? They welcome Kenley Jansen to Boston to the tune of 2 years and $32 million. Jansen was most recently working out of Atlanta's bullpen, but he was a major part of those Dodgers teams in the 2010s and their World Series team. The 35-year-old led the National League in saves with 41 last season and will be a huge help to a Sox pen that struggled in 2022. And in New York, it was a big payday for all-star outfielder Aaron Judge, who broke the American League single-season home run record in 2022. After some false reports Tuesday saying that he was signing with San Francisco, the Yankees brought the slugger back to the Bronx with a whopping 9-year, $360 million contract. And that $40 million a year is the highest for any position player in history. After being in serious talks with other suitors, Judge made the decision to stay in New York for the long term for nearly $150 million more than what the team offered him at the beginning of last season. And the Red Sox also signed Matasaka Yoshida to a 5-year deal. The star outfielder out of Japan had just been made available to MLB teams this week. The 29-year-old will make $90 million over his 5 years in Boston. Let's stay with some baseball now. Earlier in the year, we told you that the Savannah Bananas would be coming to Hadlock Field, and now there's more. Banana Ball was scheduled for Friday, August 18th at Hadlock, but now they will be there for back-to-back nights on the 18th and Saturday the 19th. The Bananas announced the extra date on Twitter, saying more games equals more fun, and that due to demand, they added several new dates on their tour. Let's move to some football now. There has been a lot of talk about the Patriots' offense recently, or lack thereof, but this week Bill Belichick confirmed they're not making any major changes. After scoring just 10 points this past week and just 10 the week before Thanksgiving, those 26 against Minnesota looking to be an outlier in the data. And people are wondering how an offense returning a Pro Bowl quarterback from last season and a good chunk of the same players has fallen off so badly. A lot of fingers are being pointed at the new offensive play callers, Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, who came back as a committee to replace Josh McDaniels after being let go of their respective teams as head coaches.
I mean, look, we're not going to go to the, wishbone offense here. We're not going to run the veer. I mean, yeah, major changes, yeah, absolutely. We wouldn't be able to practice it. Again, the system that we have in place, I feel good about. So.
All right, that's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back.
If you've been hurt in a car accident, watch out. Watch out. The insurance company's job is to do what's best for them, not you.
Watch out. If you wait too long to hire a lawyer, it may hurt your case.
Don't trust that insurance company after your accident. You could miss out on a lot of money. Call the Twos and we'll watch out for you.
Lowry and Associates watched out for me and got me $150,000.
Call the Twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do? Call 222-2222.
Leona May's Antique and Gift Shop is now open in Newport. Our unique building is a converted 1800s single-family home that we've given a new life to. A home for treasures, from antiques, collectibles, unique gifts, and so much more. Come make the rounds throughout the many rooms on all 3 floors as you wander back in time or find a unique gift that's perfect for that special someone or that hard-to-buy-for relative. So come visit us today. Leona May's Antique and Gift Shop, 147 Main Street, Newport.
Season's greetings from C&K Variety in Herman. Serving the community for decades, C&K Variety strives for great customer service and a friendly atmosphere. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the Engstrom's Auto Service family. We want to thank you for your business this past year. Diversified Inc. wishes everyone a joyful holiday season and is offering 10% off online gift cards from now until Christmas Eve.
Friday nights are about to get wild for basketball fans. Friday Night Fast Break is your source for everything that is Maine high school basketball, highlights, and local analysis. It's the only show that hits every corner of Maine's hardwood hoop landscape, high school, college, and professional. Join us Friday night during basketball season for Friday Night Fast Break on Fox 22 News at 10. Brought to you by Coastal Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer with 29 locations, owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
The Pet of the Week is brought to you by Riptide Smoke Shop in Belfast.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. We're here with our Thursday special, our Pet of the Week. Thank you, Catherine, for coming in and bringing.
Thank you.
Who's this?
So this is my friend Jax. He has been talking to us. I hope that he talks at some point during this interview so that everybody can hear his voice. It's very plaintive. He has a lot to say. But Jax is special because he is 22 years old.
Oh,
hard
my
to believe.
gosh.
I know.
He's so handsome.
He is, and he's really solid. He doesn't have like that skinny, old cat body. He's a pretty solid guy. But you can see that he's got a little sugar starting on his face, you know, those frosted whiskers and stuff. But he's still super handsome. Yeah, he came in as a stray just a couple of months ago, and we estimated, I was telling you guys, based on teeth, probably blood work, we made a best guess at 11. And the more we interacted with him, the more our text said he's got to be older than that. And so we had one of our adoption counselors really dig into our database, and it turned out he had been with us previously years ago. And so using that information, we can sort of glean that he is really closer to 22.
That's amazing.
Yeah, what a gift to have a cat.
He doesn't act his age. He wants to explore.
He really
has a
does.
Beautiful coat.
Yeah.
He's got some personality. Before we went on the air, he was talking to us. You know, he has quite a voice on him, so he'll talk to you.
Our vet tech's joke, Olivia, one of our rock stars, they're all rock stars at the shelter, but I was leaving this morning and she said that when he wakes up from a nap, he'll start howling, and they go, oh, Jax is remembering the war again.
That's great.
So
because you're retired now, of course.
He is. I know. We were just teasing him about not having a job at 22. Yeah.
So he's looking for a special home, somebody willing to take in an older kitty.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that at this age you kind of have to think of it as a hospice situation.
Right.
You're adopting a cat for the last period of its life. Obviously, a cat this age, you must have a vet relationship.
Right.
You don't want to wait to make that. And he does have a special prescription diet for his kidneys. He just needs a little more help at this point.
And I just wanted to touch on, too, having a vet relationship, it may not be as easy as some people think. If you don't already have literally that relationship and haven't made appointments, then you'd get put on a wait list, right?
Exactly.
So,
most vets, and it's not just our area, this is happening nationally, that there's a veterinarian shortage.
Yep.
And a lot of vets aren't taking new patients, or if they are, it's quite a wait.
Yeah.
I have an existing relationship for my animals, and I still had to wait several months just for a well check.
Yeah.
Of course, if there's an emergency, they'll get me in, but it takes a while. So, yeah, we'll be checking on that.
Hey, we're running out of time, but we ought to point out, with all these beautiful poinsettias around here, it might be something people ought to think about around their own homes. They can be dangerous for animals.
Yeah, they are deadly for cats in particular, and I just think it's best not to bring them into your home at all if you have a cat. Cats jump, they can jump from the floor to the top of the fridge.
Right.
So it doesn't matter where you put it. There's a good chance that if your cat really wants to chew on it, they will. Yeah.
And the leaves fall and all sorts of stuff.
Exactly. Yep. So best just not to bring it in. If you want to leave it on the doorstep, okay.
Get some artificial ones.
Yes, exactly.
They have some really nice ones today.
They do. They do.
Well, I wore my jeans today. I was expecting a dog to jump all over me, but
you were prepared.
Last
he kind of wants to.
Dexter just soiled me.
I bet.
It was great.
Oh my goodness, I know.
Oh, now that you say that, he's like, I could sit in your lap.
Ready to go.
Yes. You're a good kitty.
Say some more. He's such a gem.
I think he really likes Emma.
Maybe I've been looking for an older cat.
He could be the one. Yeah, come fill out an application, and
I may have
to. You never know.
I may have to. He's perfect.
All right, we're out of time. We got to move on now. But Catherine, this is my favorite time of the week. I wanted to keep going. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you,
Jax.
Thanks, Jax. Nice
Good
work.
boy.
We'll send it over to Devin Biggs for our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1 Rockland Thomas and Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. Alrighty, here we are, a couple of advisories to talk about. Small craft advisories and gale watches, both in effect. A small craft advisory here is this shade showing up right about in here, and that'll last until about the noon time frame for your Friday. There is some behind this gale watch as well, and that gale watch up until about 2 a.m. as we head towards your Saturday. We're going to be holding on to gusty winds for a while, which will keep things active for ocean surf height, but otherwise, at least on land, things are starting to calm down. The last of the precipitation finally starting to get out of here, and the clouds will be slow to get out of here, but a lot of sunshine on the way later this afternoon, and a clear sky on the way later on tonight as well. So here's a general idea. We have one front that has since moved through. Here's another one right about in here that's going to help to cool our temperatures off as we head towards the afternoon period before this area of high pressure starts to move in later on tonight. So a futurecast breaking all of this down now. Again, any clouds will be getting out of here throughout the day with a lot of sunshine during the afternoon and a clear sky later on tonight. Tomorrow looking very nice with a lot of sunshine away. Any clouds may try to sneak in, maybe a few clouds from the east going toward the west with this leftover system. But again, no precipitation to worry about, just maybe some clouds that will try to sneak in as we head towards early Saturday morning. But again, we have gusty winds to worry about, though. Gusty winds up to 25 miles per hour will be expected today, lasting into parts of tonight as well, and even into parts of tomorrow. So the winds will remain gusty moving forward, especially with some of the activity that's just outside of the U.S. Wave heights also remaining active, 4 to 7 foot wave heights, and even some getting up to 8 feet from time to time. And with all this in mind, that's why we have those alerts along the coast. But our average high temperature, to talk temperatures right now, is 37 degrees. We'll reach for the mid-40s for most of the day. Then by early afternoon, temperatures fall during that point as that front moves through. Upper 30s for your Friday, then back down to lower 30s for your Saturday. Saturday. 20s return Sunday, but then warming back up into the 30s Monday, Tuesday, and also into your Wednesday. So your forecast for today, mid-40s, partly cloudy, falling temperatures this afternoon. The northwest wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. Later on tonight, upper 20s, mostly clear and breezy. Northwest wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. Looking ahead towards tomorrow, upper 30s, mostly sunny and breezy. That north wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. And your Shepherd Auto Group extended forecast. Look at this. We're dry for the next several days with a mixture of clouds and sun. Temperatures cooling off by Sunday to the upper 20s, but we're back in the low 30s just a little bit as we head towards your Monday.
Hi folks, this is Barry Gass of Gass Horse Supply and Western Wear in Orono. We've been in business since 1911, and our third-generation family-owned business can't wait to show you our unique line of Western wear and Western tack. We have Western boots, shirts, hats, belts, and buckles for the entire family, and Western tack from bridles to saddles and everything in between for your horse.
Gass Horse Supply and Western Wear, where the American West comes alive in Maine.
After my accident, I needed help.
I was looking for information online.
Then I found it.
JoeBornstein.com.
Get help now at JoeBornstein.com. From your smartphone or desktop, here in Maine, the law offices of Joe Bornstein is as close as your fingertips.
The consultation was free and confidential.
In person or online. The firm with the track record of results.
If you've been injured in an accident, call Joe. The law offices of Joe Bornstein. Right now.
On December 1st, 2022, Rockfleet Broadcasting 3, LLC, licensee of WFVX LD Channel 22 Bangor, Maine, filed an application with the Federal Communications Commission for renewal of its broadcast license. Members of the public wishing to view this application or obtain information about how to file comments and petitions on the application can visit www.fcc.gov/station search and search in the list of WFVX LD's filed applications. Rowell's Garage has been serving customers in the greater Dover-Foxcroft region since 1946. Our goal is not just selling you a vehicle, but also giving you quality service to maintain your vehicle at peak performance. Browse our inventory online or in person. Whether it's a car, truck, or SUV, we can put you in the vehicle that is right for you. Sales, service, and parts. Rowell's Garage. Doing business the right way every day.
Time to head over to the Mr. Food Test Kitchen where Howard is whipping up something delicious today.
This year, why not shake things up at your next dinner party or Christmas dinner by serving everyone their very own perfectly sized main dish? It's something that my mom used to make, and to this day, I still love it. I'm talking about individual roasted Cornish hens. Not only do they look special, but they're super flavorful and so easy to make. In case you're not familiar with Cornish hens, they're basically a cousin to the chicken, only smaller and more tender. Each one's about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds. To make them, all we do is stuff each one with a wedge of lemon and some fresh rosemary. Then we tuck the wings back, like this, and tie, or as it's officially called, truss, the legs together with some butcher twine. Now we place them in a roasting pan on a rack, season them with some olive oil and a bit of salt and pepper, and add garlic cloves all around it. Then we pour a mixture over them that we made by mixing together some Dijon mustard, white wine, and chicken broth. And then into the oven they go. After roasting for about an hour with lots of basting throughout, they're done. Talk about one of the juiciest holiday main dishes you've ever tasted. And since everyone gets their very own, it looks even more la-di-da. To get the recipe for our lemon rosemary roasted Cornish hens, head over to our website. I know you'll be glad you did. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a perfectly sized way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Put a whole bird on your plate.
Yeah, right.
Well, good grief. One Arizona home goes all out with its Charlie Brown-inspired holiday decorations. This Glendale, Arizona home to kick off your holiday season with the Peanuts gang. The festive light displays feature everyone's favorite characters, including Linus, Lucy, Schroeder, Sally, and of course, Snoopy and Charlie Brown. The family says they chose the Peanuts theme because every generation can